You're listening to the Belmar Bytes podcast, brought to you by Belmar Consulting. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Belmar Bytes. Matt, welcome back to the pod.
We're back.
We missed you last week. We had a guest stepping in, which was great, but good to have you back. And we are recording this in the week before Dreamforce, and so today's episode is a double click here on what's going to happen next week in San Francisco. So we've already released an episode on how to prepare and get ready for Dreamforce. Tom joined me on an episode a number of weeks back, and but today really is we're a week out, and every email I get seems to have Dreamforce tagged in it, and I'm sure the same for you. So everybody's amped up, ready to go for next week, and so wanted to just dive in and let's talk about some ideas for kind of what we're thinking is going to happen next week. So maybe just to frame it. Dreamforce is in San Francisco next week, starting Tuesday, October 14th, and rolls through the end of Thursday. And it is going to be action-packed. I haven't heard actually how many people are going this year. I think I did read somewhere it was 100,000, but we'll see. I'm sure they'll announce some numbers when we get there. But regardless of how many people are officially signed up, it's going to be a busy city. San Fran during Dreamforce is absolutely bonkers, and I'm really excited about it. And we've got some of our team going down this year, and we're gonna have some fun down in San Fran. And so why don't we, I guess, kick off with what are you looking forward to in terms of Dreamforce, and maybe you can sort of answer what are you expecting to happen next week in San Fran?
Yeah, well, believe it or not, Scott, this is actually my first time being at straight in the grounds, which is going to be really exciting. I know a lot of customers are going, and it's going to be just a total blast. So I know you said bonkers. What is also bonkers during that time is just hotel prices, everything going in. So further note to those going, plan ahead. If you've got this on the calendar, plan ahead, because you can certainly take advantage of the pre-planning efforts there. But look, I'm really looking forward to seeing a lot of our customers, but also just the energy. I've been to San Francisco many times this year, and the energy during Dreamforce will certainly be very different. Different in that there's just so much buzz going around. It's not only just the events of Dreamforce, it's all of the complementary or ancillary events that are happening outside the main hub there, which we'll be speaking at as well. But there's a lot going on during that time. So it's really like to use an analogy here, it's like a homecoming for everybody that knows and lives Salesforce. So a lot of familiar folks, a lot of folks being able to meet for the first time, but also see each other as well. So that's what I'm excited for. As always, Salesforce does a stellar job at putting together a whole host of really cool speakers, some that are tech related, some that are non-tech related. But their concerts, which are charitable concerts, are always top tier. This year they've got Metallica and Benson Boone. They've got speakers. They've got Sundar from Google is going to be there. They've got Live Golf, so Bryson DeChambeau is going to be speaking on the stage as well. So there's just a whole host of really interesting people that Salesforce always does a great job at bringing together the best and the brightest in there.
Yeah.
But what about you, Scott? What are you looking forward to this year?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've been a bunch of times, and it is amazing that this is actually officially your first time going. So it's you've heard about it. You've lived it through other channels, but yeah, you'll be all in this year. Dreamforce, given that I've been a number of times, is less about the sessions. It's more about just connecting with people. So I'm excited to reconnect with customers in person. So we'll have a chance to meet up with a handful of customers. Also, just our colleagues at Salesforce. I mean, we talk to these people throughout well, obviously throughout the year, but day to day, week to week, month to month. And, we get a chance oftentimes throughout the year to see them in person, but we'll get to see a bunch of people that maybe we just don't get to see as often as we'd like, all in San Francisco together. And so I think for me too, it's just the sort of hearing what's coming next. I mean, last year, Mark Benioff announced AgentForce, and I mean, it had been pre-announced, and there was sort of a lead up to Dreamforce with that. But it was, everything last year was about AgentForce, and we're now a year removed, and everything is about AgentForce. So it's gonna. I'm excited to hear the announcements. Obviously, our business is very tied to the direction that Salesforce is going and the direction that our mutual customers are going, and so hearing it directly from Mark and from others is going to be really cool. So I'm sure they've got, as they always do, have lots of big announcements, and I'm sure this year will be exactly the same. Um,
Well, hey,
so
Scott, that's a great segue actually into we're gonna post this up for Dreamforce. What are your predictions? So Salesforce, without a doubt, always announces something big. There's
yeah,
always something new, exciting, innovative, revolutionary, whatever you want to call it. But why don't we do a bit of a prediction episode here? Um,
yeah,
so
sure.
as you think about it, what are the, I guess, top few predictions, big, bold bets that you think Salesforce is going to make this year?
Well, I'll give you one. Why don't we go back and forth on this?
Sure.
So my prediction, and again, this is just, I'm taking a guess. I have no inside info on this. This is just
Mhm.
Scott's sort of latest thinking in terms of what's coming. Uh, CEO of Google is being interviewed. So Sundar is going to be interviewed by Mark Benioff. I have a hunch that there's something there. It's more than just a fireside chat about agentic and AI. I think there's
Mhm.
something brewing there, but we'll see. We'll know in a week's time. Actually, no, we'll know a little more than a week's time from now. But it's yeah, he's a big name, and it's a big org to have at Dreamforce. So I'm guessing there's going to be a little bit of announcement coming.
Okay. I'm gonna double click on that. What do you mean by announcement? Partnership, product?
Yeah, I think it's product partnership. So, and again, these are just ideas that I've got, but just in observing our customers' uptake of AgentForce to this point. So, call it a year removed. Uh, it hasn't been maybe as robust as I thought it might be, and certainly in the commercial space, large enterprise. I mean, it's being consumed, but I thought it would take off faster than it
Mm.
actually has, and so in that year, at least, and again, this is just from my own experience using the Google stack, just the advancement of Gemini and the capabilities that Google have just baked into their products. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to look like if in fact it is something, but my hunch is that there's a kind of a product offering that Salesforce is providing uh, to their customers that's connected to Google in some way. So
Yeah, interesting. And yeah, I mean, I echo that with like 100% agreement that Google has been really just stepping it up on the AI front. I mean, we use Google as our stack, and the amount of places now that I see Gemini buttons and just the power. I mean, you had shared with me, Scott, the other day that you can point it to a Google folder and it can create content off of whatever information is distilled there. So yeah, Google is they have done a master class at product evolution and really just it's a whole host of trial and error. Understanding right now the most prevalent way to interact with AI is a chat-based interface, but they've done a really good job at trying to test out. It's like a long series of A/B testing for
no,
where is it actually being utilized, and they've already got all the customers on it. Might as well test out what sticks. So maybe I'll go into my
yeah,
my
What do you
prediction.
got?
What do I think outside of a host of really cool celebrities and speakers there? So last year, Salesforce announced AgentForce. There was AgentForce 2.0 that was announced halfway through the year. Certainly, I mean, I think it's a safe bet to say that AgentForce 3.0 is probably going to be announced. But I think if I were to make an assertion here as to what do I expect to be different about this, I think, like I said, the chat-based interface is still prevalent, but I think there's going to be some evolution to that. In that right now it's purely text, but I think the widespread adoption, just even outside of Agentforce, of other ways to ingest and pass in information. I think what we'll see in our Agentforce interfaces is influx in audio recording or audio or video or photos and being able to produce off of that. We've seen a ton of advancements. I don't know when the last time you've generated an image on, be it Gemini, Grok, ChatGPT has
Hmm.
been, but even over the last year, I've seen a ton of advancements of what looked like a hallucination or what looked pretty bad to something that is almost surprisingly scary how accurate it is. So
Yeah.
I think we'll
Yeah.
see a lot of just the interface changing, and I'll match that with another bet here. The Slack acquisition, which happened some time ago, was big, and there's been this ongoing integration of Slack and Salesforce. And I think what we're going to see is beyond just chat-based interfaces, we're actually going to see Slack as an interface for interfacing with Salesforce, for interfacing via Agentforce as well, and using that as the front door. I kind of liken this to when Tim Cook and the team at Apple had spun out all of these wearable devices and these Apple Watches. What you started to see, especially with these most recent ones, it's it's effectively copy and pasting what you can do on a watch,
Yeah.
but it's something that could have been done on your phone. So changing the interface to drive adoption, to drive stickiness, and I think that's what we're going to see with Slack, because Slack was not a new product. Slack had a ton of users already on it that loved and breathed Slack. I mean, perhaps I'm biased because we use it, but it is head and shoulders above
Yeah.
the next closest
Sure.
communication channel and app.
Yeah, and I mean,
You know,
I personally I like using Slack more than I like using Salesforce. It's easier to use. I know it's a very different
yeah,
use case, but it's just I don't know. There's just features of it that are just amazing and so easy to use.
totally. So I think Slack as an interface is
Yeah, that's cool.
Slack at the
That's
front
cool.
door is what we're going to see this.
All right. Well, I've got another one. Uh, you referenced Agentforce V1, V2. Likely V3 is announced. Um, and what have we seen as a longtime Salesforce customer ourselves? I actually haven't seen really much benefit, or enhancement within the product that we use, which is Service Cloud, and that is making my life easier. So, it seems like the first iteration of this has been, uh, uh, selling Agentforce. So to make it easier for customers, in the call center environments and other environments like that, to have their customers engage with an agent. Here's what I'd love for Salesforce to do, and then I'm predicting is going to happen. They're going to just announce in product enhancement. So we use Google as the example here. I can be in Gmail, and day by day, incrementally, Google is releasing more and more Gemini based features. I can be in Google Drive or in Google Sheets, and it does any of their tools. And there's just more and more capabilities showing up. And my subscription price hasn't really changed, but the feature set has certainly gone up. And so the value to me is super high. So I feel like Salesforce, at least for organizations like ours that are using Sales Cloud, or any of our nonprofit customers that would be using
Mm.
Nonprofit Cloud, or even NPSP, they haven't really seen the benefits of uh, Agentforce within the product that they're using. And so I think there's features coming. And so you referenced, instead of a text box, speech to text or image creation. I can't think of an image creation use case that I would want to use in Salesforce. But if I was, say, for example, going into a meeting and I had my phone and I could just talk to Salesforce and say, summarize for me the last
Yeah.
1 month of communication that we as an organization have had with this customer, and it audibly can talk to me and summarize that. That would be super powerful, because we do store a lot of that information in Salesforce, but I have to click through and look at individual entries in order to summarize that. So I'm hoping that that they announce. I'm expecting they're going to announce some features like that, which would make the stickiness of Salesforce that much
Yeah.
more, as well as just the use of it day to day that much better. And so, we'll see. Maybe that'll be through a Slack interface, but I'm expecting there'll be some product announcements that are just made available to everybody following Dreamforce, and
Yeah.
it'll be exciting.
Oh man, wouldn't that be cool if I know oftentimes we'll get questions like, "Hey, can you give me the answer to this question?" And it's a, "Give me a second, let me create a report, let me filter this, let me produce a graphic for you." Imagine if that was just all done via voice or
Yeah.
Slack, and it's done for you, but it's done in a declarative fashion, in that it's being done on the back end for that. But oh, that's exciting. Well, hey, I'll match one more, maybe less AI oriented, but more partnership oriented. And I know you'd mentioned Google as a potential big bet there. I think something that I've seen over the last year, 2 years, in terms of where Salesforce is placing endorsements and financial investments. I think we're going to start to see more experience based or experiential based investments in terms of endorsements. I mean, they've already got some with some basketball teams in the WNBA. They've got some that are sports related. They've got a customer in F1, Formula One racing. I think we're going to start to see more of that. And I think the reason why they're doing this is because AI right now still has a bit of a stigma around it, in that AI, the big bad AI, is going to take over the world. I mean, we've heard that certainly before. And I think just trying to educate people on the value that it provides, the productivity increase that it provides, but also trying to give it a more human interface, if you will. That's what I think will happen in terms of just more experience-based things.
Hmm.
And if I wind back, I don't know, 5, 10, 15 years ago, Salesforce certainly was, they had the dollars to be able to invest in these endorsements, but it was only since bringing on Matthew McConaughey as their celebrity endorsement and the spokesperson for them that they really made a big shift towards kind of more human-centric or human-focused endorsements as well. And I don't think that's going anywhere. I think that's actually just a trend in the tech space in general. I mean, you watch football and the advertisements in between, half of them are SaaS products inside there, and it's some celebrity that's being talking about it. So I think that's not going anywhere. I think that especially with technology, it's going to be, how do we reduce fear and unknown and create comfort and create that with somebody who's credible or somebody that people are familiar with. So I don't think that's going anywhere.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. Yeah, I mean, I certainly agree. There's been an increase in celebrity endorsements in the tech space, and Salesforce is certainly not shy to parade the celebrities through events like Dreamforce, and
Yeah.
sort of have them splashed across their advertising. I know that I'm being in the U.S. and you being in Canada. There's a little different difference in terms of the commercials we get, and I see Salesforce ads on the regular on TV, and I don't watch a ton of TV, but I certainly do see Salesforce ads, and Matthew McConaughey is usually the one
Yeah.
that's front and center. But yeah, it is interesting. It's an interesting perspective as to sort of why they're selecting celebrities to share that message, versus if we go, we go back a number of years. I mean, call it even 10 years back. I mean, everything was Salesforce has their customers selling their products, and that's still very, very true. I mean, next week we'll see it. There'll be banners of customer logos and
Yeah.
faces of CEOs and CMOs, and all the whole C-suite that are endorsing Salesforce. So I'm sure that will be there as well. But yeah, it seems like there's been a real uptick in terms of celeb endorsements, and I've never really considered why that is, but that's an interesting idea and an interesting theory as to why they're doing it.
You know what I'm looking forward to? So, Scott, you've been to the downtown San Francisco core, and as you leave on the highway, you see all of these banners. You see all these billboards. This is the Super Bowl for tech companies. That's what
Yeah.
I'm
Oh, for
excited to
sure.
see is how creative people will be because already you can if you're ever looking for a leading indicator as to be at what to invest in or what's going to happen, just look at the billboards. Look at what people. I've learned of a lot of new tech companies by driving out on that highway and seeing those billboards. But I'm very curious as to when we drive out there, this is like their Super Bowl commercials. So that'll be interesting to see what new products decide to this week when there's such an influx of new people coming into that downtown core, what they're deciding to put up on those banners as well. Because certainly Salesforce, for those who don't know, is the tallest tower in San Francisco. Like it sticks out. You cannot miss it. It is just incredible being up there. But those banners, they certainly are not cheap to put up those billboards there. So I'm curious. I'm excited. We'll
Yeah.
take some pictures of them and share them.
Yeah, for sure. Next week we'll be active on our socials and sharing stories about what's happening at Dreamforce, and certainly any big announcements that impact our customers and or our team. We'll be doing our best to break those down and sharing those. We'll do a full recap
Yeah,
post Dreamforce, but next week we'll be sharing updates throughout the week. And I think in terms of updates, we have been sharing and promoting this, but I think this is a good opportunity just to give Fundraise Up a big uh, kudos and a high five to say thanks for inviting us to participate in the Philanthropy Lounge that is happening throughout the week in San Fran. So if you are attending Dreamforce and you have not signed up for the event that we're putting on, Matt, why don't you give us some details in terms of what's going on?
yeah. So when October 16th, 10 a.m. PST to 11 a.m. PST, we're going to have two fantastic speakers and guests that we're going to have a moderated conversation with. But really, it's just sharing insights. So that's Tom Tom Zazueta from Valley Health Foundation. He's their chief operating officer. He's going to be sharing his insights and insights both from the tech space. He was formerly in the technology space and for-profit world, and kind of used some of those skills and leadership qualities and brought those over to Valley Health Foundation to really be a super progressive, really innovative tech leader within a hospital foundation or healthcare foundation. So that's one speaker. The other speaker is Eleanor Castillo Sumi. She is the CEO, founder of Ohana Healthcare Partners, and just is a absolute mastermind and wizard in terms of just understanding process for health and human service organizations. Uh, and she's also a lot of fun to talk to. So I'm looking forward to it. I think it'll be an interesting conversation. I think there's going to be a lot of cool things, and certainly there's no mincing of words here. It's going to be a really interesting conversation where if you are a nonprofit organization or if you are a health and human services organization in that nonprofit healthcare space, this is a conversation you won't want to miss. In that it's a really intimate setting. So we'll certainly share out the links to register, but that is if there's still space. But certainly if there's still space, make sure you can attend that.
Yeah, awesome. Excited for that. Again, that's happening on Thursday, the 16th of October at 10 a.m. So we'll include in the description of this video, we'll include a link to where you can register. You can also check it out on our socials and our website at belmarcloud.com. And Matt, next week, Dreamforce, here we go. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So thanks for doing this episode. And thanks everybody for watching. And we'll be back in a week with some amazing Dreamforce updates. So looking forward to the next one. Matt, thanks again for doing this.
Yeah, no problem. All right, thanks.
All right. This has been another episode of Belmar Bytes, brought to you by Belmar Consulting. You can follow us on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, or on our website at belmarcloud.com.